So come to your mat, come and have a sit, welcome, and just get comfortable for a moment. So have a wiggle, have a stretch. I think especially shoulders and neck. Sometimes it's nice to do the asanas and the exercises and the stretches that we do together, but it's quite nice to start off with your own kind of finding where you need the stretch. So just intuitively having a little bit of a wiggle and a stretch and a move as you settle. So settling into your pelvis, maybe lifting some flesh out the way if you need to find that lovely connection with your sit bones and the ground. And then from there, setting your spine up in that nice, keeping the curves, but making that length. So moving each vertebra a little bit further away, and taking the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Ah, there we go. So relax your shoulders, soften through your shoulders. So we're keeping that length and we're trying to get everything else relaxed and comfortable and settled. And welcome. Welcome to your mat. Welcome to your practice. Make it your own. Listen to your body. Do what works for you. And we're just gently going to tip the chin to the chest. So we're starting off with the neck and head. And throughout your practice, remember to breathe. We'll do a couple of breathing movements together. In a moment, we're just going to warm up the neck and the top of the chest first. So chin to your chest. And make that quite a strong movement. So really pull that chin in now. Noticing what stretch you get in the back of your neck. Trying to keep your shoulders where they were, not rounding, not lifting, not lowering. And then lifting your chin. So drawing a nice arc with the chin and bringing your head all the way up. So your face is towards the ceiling, you're looking upwards. And the back of your head is on the top of your back. Allow your head to roll back. And let's send the chin up towards the ceiling. So a nice big push, send that chin up. See how much stretch you can get in the front of your throat and neck. Maybe even into your chest. That bottom jaw poking up towards the ceiling. Remembering to breathe still. Nice, deep, steady breaths. And then coming back to center. I'm going to do a sharp turn to the right. So taking your chin over to your right shoulder, looking out over to the right side. Now watch what happens with your left shoulder here. Give it a little bit of attention to stop it following. Try and keep your shoulders in line. Relax your hands. Still keeping the crown of your head lifting up towards the ceiling. And then looking around behind you. And using those muscles around your eyes. Opening your eyes wide. Staring behind you. And then releasing your eyes, releasing your head, releasing everything, coming all the way back, going over to the other side. And again, now watch out for what happens with the right shoulder. Make sure that it stays where it is. If you're gripping hold of your knees, let go. If your feet are engaged, try to relax them. And looking behind you now, so opening your eyes wide. See if that gives you an extra little bit of movement in the neck. You might be able to look around a little further. Lovely twist, really strong twist in the neck. So we're inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the mouth. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then relax your eyes and your gaze, relax your head. Let it just ease back to neutral and then bring it back to center. Let's inhale the arms up. So take your arms out to the side. Just touch the floor gently. And then keeping the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, shoulders nice and relaxed. Going to inhale the arms up together. So exhale first, and then inhale. All the way up, reaching up, and then exhale. Turn your hands Palms outwards, pushing the air down towards the ground. And then we're going to be turning the palms upwards, lifting the air up as you inhale. And let's turn the palms outwards, breathing out. We're going to slow it down a little bit if you can. Inhaling up. Hold. Exhale out. Hold. Turn. Inhale up. Keep your shoulders where they are. Don't take them up towards your ears. And hold. Turn. Exhale. Take the last one at your own pace when you're ready. Lovely. Take your arms out to the side when you're ready. And then, as if you're describing the biggest thing you can possibly think of, taking your arms behind you because you need some more space. I was going to say describing a fish, but I don't know. When would I ever be doing that? So opening your arms wide, pinching your shoulder blades together, squeeze them together. See if you can get those elbows a little further back, backs of your hands a little further back. Lift your sternum here, lift your chin a little, give yourself space and room in the front of the body, opening up, maybe even a little bit of a back bend in the top of your back, your gaze coming up a little bit towards the ceiling, and release. Exhaling if you can, coming into that nice big hug. So wrapping your arms around you, breathing easily, bringing that tight squeeze into the front of your chest, popping your hands on your shoulder blades, spreading your fingertips out, and then we're going to round and curl. So take your chin to your chest-ish, or it'll just be maybe nestled in the tops of your arms, and then rounding, sending your mid back out. Close your eyes here. See if you can send yourself a huge amount of love with this hug. Well done for getting up this morning. Well done for doing all the things that you needed to do. Well done for bringing yourself to your mat. Well done for all the amazing things that you've got planned for today. Well done for sorting out your whole week. Well done for feeding yourself well, for remembering to drink water, all those little 100 million things you do every day that are just brilliantly fabulous. And you don't necessarily give them much thought. So here you go. Send yourself some love and gratitude. And then we're opening up again. That was a very tight hug. So open up back to that nice, big, expansive love for the universe and everybody else in it. And also accepting, pinch those shoulder blades together. Squeeze, lift the chest, lengthening through the front of the body, lifting the chin a little. And then can you remember which arm went on top last time? Send it to the bottom. Nice big hug. Squeeze, close your eyes, just drop into that peaceful space. Dropping into your own heart center. Give yourself a squeeze, give yourself lots of love, and then let's go into some breath work. So slightly warmed up in the top of the body, hopefully. And let's change across the legs. Change your sitting position if it's not comfortable for you. You can always stretch your legs out in front, which is actually harder. But sometimes you just need a bit of a change. Let's give the shoulders a bit of a wiggle before we come into this breath work. Okay, so we're just going to do a very nice, simple box breath today. So we're going to close the eyes. We're going to breathe that line across. I'd say in your mind's eye, you're drawing a line from top left to top right on that in breath, on the out breath, into that bottom right corner On the in-breath, again, over to the left bottom corner, and then on the out-breath, back up to the start. Hopefully that all made sense, but essentially breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and that's just in your imagination, in your mind's eye. Relax the body, send the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and let's breathe out to start, and inhale through your nostrils. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, relax your feet. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, use the whole of your chest. And exhale, emptying completely. Carry on for 2 more rounds at your own pace. Remember to draw that line in your mind's eye. Maybe your eyes even track that movement. And ensure that you're filling up to your full capacity. Sometimes when you're completely full, you've got room to take another little sip of air. And as you exhale, exhaling fully, emptying out every last little bit of breath. About filling up your lungs with clean, fresh light and warmth, and emptying out completely. Give yourself that space. And then coming back to just easy, neutral, in and out, relaxed breathing. Putting the box aside for now. And then gently opening your eyes. I'm going to start doing some moving. Let's take the legs out in front and pull your toes back towards your face. So let's stretch out along the backs of the legs. Tight pull. See if you can get your toes to come towards your knees. Send your heels forward, maybe even lift up your legs and lengthen. Can't speak. Lengthen the backs of your legs. Push your knees down into the floor and then release. Find that. Just letting go of all the muscles. So nice. And then we're going to just point the right foot. So right toes forward. Bring that back to neutral. Left toes forward. Now sometimes this can give people a little bit of a cramp. If it attacks you, just bring your foot in and give it a bit of a rub. And then bring that left foot up, and then both toes, both sets of toes forward. So stretching the longest length of leg that you can possibly get, and then bringing your feet up. Toes up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to take toes out to the sides. So sending your little toes down towards the ground on either side. Notice that feeling in your knees and your hips of the movement there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then we're going to take feet back up to neutral. Bring your big toes to join each other and then slide your ankles out. So you've got your big toes hopefully touching and your ankles out as far away from each other as you can get them with your toes still touching. And again, notice how that feels in your hip. Can you feel that rotation? Amazing, isn't it? Remember to breathe. And then bring them back to neutral. And I'm just taking your feet into windscreen wipers. So we go over to the right, over to the left, over to the right. So we're not holding the movement, but we're still getting that Twist in the hips, so left and right. Think about your spine here. We still want to keep that nice crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Feet are still going on your windscreen wipers. Warming up those hips and then bringing them back to neutral and a little bit of a bend forward to ease off any tension in the hips, sliding your hands down your legs. A little bit of a forward fold. And if you haven't done a lot of forward bending and stretching over the holidays, this might feel, well, hopefully it'll feel absolutely lovely, but it also might feel a little challenging because sometimes when you haven't done this stretch for a while, it comes back very quickly. That's all I'm going to say. But you can notice when it's gone. So that wasn't all I was saying. Bring your feet in, Baddha Konasana. So heels in, holding on. Hold on to your toes. Wrap your hands around. So I've just got my fingers interlaced, popping them underneath my little toes. And then let's focus on taking the knees out to the side. So pushing your knees down and then lengthening through the back, lifting the back of your head away. So we've got nice stretch in the arms, using the body to stretch and pull. So we're stretching into the shoulders, stretching across the backs of the shoulders perhaps. We're obviously opening up in the groin, and the glutes are having a little bit of work to do here. Squeezing your knees out to the side, maybe a little bit of a lean back even if you've got that length. And then release. Keep your left leg in, and we're going to take the right leg out. The right leg comes out to the side. You might want to turn your foot a little so the sole of your foot is pointing up towards you or towards your body, and then up nice and tall, and we're going to slide down. So right arm, right leg. Try and get as much of that leg onto the floor as possible. So you can see I've got a gap there. Pushing it down, pushing the knee down, and then sliding over. So quite often here, when you slide the arm down, you want to bring your body forward because it might feel easier. We're trying to get that stretch in the side. So try and stay upright and in line. So we're just going over to the side, not going forwards. Watch out for this left knee that might want to start floating. Try and keep it pinned to the ground. Come over as far as works for you. And then let's take that left arm up and reach up. Remember to breathe. Nice big stretch around the left hip, perhaps, hopefully. And a squeeze into the right side. So bringing the right bottom of your right rib cage, right side of your rib cage, we've only got one, down to your right hip. Neck is just neutral and relaxed here. Reaching up. And then we're going to lift a little to come out. So lifting up, coming slowly out. And then let's turn to face that outstretched right leg. Hands either side, walking your hands down, folding forward. Now we're trying to get your body over, your torso over the right leg. Don't worry, it will feel quite tricky to do. There's a lot of opening and twisting that has to happen in the top of your left hip here and your lower back. So just to fold forward as far as works for you. Still extending that right leg and pushing the right knee down into the mat. Well done. And then walking the hands back, bringing your body back to center, and then let's swap. So taking the right foot in and the left leg out. So again, you might want to turn that foot face upwards a little, getting that calf and thigh connection really nice and tight, and then pushing your right knee down, pushing your left knee down, extending the left leg out, maybe creeping it away a little, inching or maybe centimetering the heel away from you. Up nice and tall, and then a slide to the left. Again, try not to bend forward, just over to the side. Go to where works for you. Remember to breathe, and then let's extend that right arm up, nice big stretch, opening up under the arm, squeezing into the left side, making sure your right hip stays on the ground, doesn't start to levitate. Head and neck relaxed. Breathing. Nice, deep, steady, even breath. And then we're going to go lifting up, easing off, coming to face the left leg and walking the hands either side, holding forward. A little bit of a twist in the right side, maybe coming up all the way into your ribs. Certainly a lot of twist and stretch around the top of the pelvis on the right side. And then walking back. Lovely, well done. Let's come over into a tabletop position. So bringing your feet in, maybe coming up and hopping around, or however you want to get into your tabletop position, get into your tabletop position. Just make sure you can't see your feet behind you. Knees are under your hips, wrists are under your shoulders. And we've got a lovely neutral spine, long neck, crown of the head pointing forward, so your gaze is just on the floor by your hands. We're going to stretch forward first to start, so just sending the crown of your head forwards, putting a little bit of stress and strain and strengthening into those wrists, leaning forward, and then we're going to tuck the toes under and push back. So push with your hands, resist with your legs and feet, coming all the way backwards so that you are stretching out underneath your toes and the soles of your feet and working the Achilles as well. And then let's go forward once more, stressing out those wrists a little. Let's make them strong. Let's remind them that they're needed. Support yourself with your lovely straight arms. And then one more time, last time, coming back, pushing back into your heels. So taking your bottom towards your heels, stretching out underneath your toes, maybe even lifting off your knees if you feel like it, if you feel like adding on, bringing your thighs up towards your chest, and then coming back into our cat-cow start neutral position. So back lovely and straight, and then let's dip the belly down towards the mat. Lifting the head, gazes forward, and lift your sit bones. Very important to roll your sit bones up towards the ceiling as you bring the back of your head to the top of your back. We're not worrying about the breath for now, so keep breathing easily. We're just holding the position and then easing off, coming to neutral, going past neutral and coming into cat. Pull forward, squeeze your glutes here, lift your mid back up towards the ceiling and bring your chin in towards your chest, curling and opening up. So we're trying to make the spine as curved as possible in this position. And then we release, come to neutral, come into cow posture. As we started, breathing in and out. Now take a nice deep breath in when you're ready. And exhale, let's move into our cat. Inhale. Moving into cow. Exhale, moving into cat. Inhale. Now go at your own pace to match your own breath. to suit you. Just make each bend as bendy as possible. So curly and bendy. One more round, one more set. So one more of each. Cat and a cow. And then when you're ready, coming back to neutral, taking your knees wide, so almost to the edges of your mat. Big toes slide in together and send yourself back into Balasana. So hopefully you've got your hips to your heels. You can stretch your arms forward, bringing your chest down towards the mat. And the spine is long here, so we just have the forehead to the mat. Lots of length in the back of the neck. Do you have a little space to move your hands forward a little further? If you can, creeping the fingers forwards. Let's really open up under the arms, bringing some movement and flow. A very important space full of lymph nodes. And relax. Keep breathing. And then we're coming up to sitting. So gently pushing yourself up. Come back to sitting. Come to sitting on your heels if you can. If that isn't comfortable for you, and you can do a W sit, take your feet out either side. If that one doesn't really work either, you're welcome to come into a cross leg pose. Just going to do a little bit of spinal twist here. So right hand towards your left thigh, left leg, opening up that left shoulder behind you, bringing the left arm all the way behind, and then dropping it down towards the floor. So you can do this perfectly well. If this is hurting your feet, come into Sukhasana or cross leg pose and do it from there instead. Remember to bring that twist all the way up into the back of your head, into your neck. And always remember to incorporate the eye movement as well, even if I forget to mention it. And release. Just a nice gentle twist. Let's go straight over to the other side. You kind of, as you release, you're like a spring, you almost want to come over to the other side anyway. So left hand, right leg, right hand to the floor behind you. And crown of the head up. Remember to breathe. And coming back to center. So take your hands to the mat. Tuck your toes under. Let's come up into a squat. So, oh, nearly fell over backwards then. So into your squat. Let's just stay here for a moment. Anybody been doing lots of nice squats over the holidays? Another asana that's very easy to see where you kind of stiffened up a little bit, but again, so quick to get back. So do not worry. Just make sure you get to your mat and you'll be absolutely fine. So take your feet a little further apart now. We're going to start moving into some hips and knees and legs. So we've got nice wide-legged squat, but we're going over from side to side. So we're just keeping it nice and easy. So when we walk the hands over to the left, and then walk the hands over to the right. And as you come over to each side, bring yourself up onto toes if you're not already on toes. So again, stimulating all the bottom of the foot here, making sure it's awake. And then we go a little further away, so sending your foot out. So we're coming over to one side, so maybe bring yourself over to one side and then extend the other leg out so that your heel is on the mat. And then let's slide that foot away as far as possible and bring that seated. Are we seated? No, with squatting. So the squatting side, try and bring that foot flat to the floor if you can. Use your hands. You can lean forwards, which doesn't really help much. If you can, bring that foot flat to the floor. If it's not working, then of course up on toes is absolutely fine. All the time we are stretching out the back of our extended leg. So pushing that knee down gently towards the floor, extending out and stretching. And then we're walking over. So walk with your hands and move your feet at the same time. But take some weight into your hands, because if you try and do it all in your legs, it can be tricky. That's it. Just stretching out that leg now, and then we're going to walk over to the other side. So if you want to challenge yourself, you take away the use of your hands and you rely entirely on your legs. So up to you whether you want to do a 50-50 or a 70-30 split. Lots of nice compression in the knee, lots of work into the ankle, and of course, beautiful hip work here. Lots going on in the hips. Let's go over to the other side. So lifting the extended leg, toes up towards the ceiling. And one more time, let's go over to the other side. I have to do sound effects for this particular one. And then coming back to center. Now you might need your hands here. Come back to center. Let's make it symmetrical. So hands down towards the mat, bent knees, head forward, head, back, hips in line. And then we're going to straighten the legs here, bringing yourself into Prasarita Padottanasana. Bring your head down towards the mat, the crown of your head pointing towards the mat. And relax. Walking your feet towards each other. You might have to change your position on the mat, but bring yourself into downward facing dog. And we've already done lots of opening up in the hips and warmed up the spine. We've opened up under the arms. So we're ready for this down dog. We're fully prepped for Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Send your hips up towards the ceiling, getting that length that we found in the backs of the legs. Broaden your shoulders, allow your head and neck to be at rest, and push the floor away with your hands. That will give you some extra length in your arms, under your arms, and in your back. Always moving the heels down towards the mat. Paddling the legs if that works better for you. And then looking forwards, we're going to take the right foot and step it forward between the hands. So we've got right foot forward. Let's slide that back leg back if you need to a little, and then drop your hips down. Long back leg. The right foot is under your right knee. And we're going to add on here. So take your right hand and place it on the inside of your right foot, and maybe walk your foot out towards the side. So your whole torso is in the middle of the mat and your right leg is slightly out towards the side. Bring your hands flat to the floor. Drop that left knee down. Drop the foot out. And then bring yourself closer to the ground. So we've got a really big stretch here in the right hip. So your right leg is just bent and out to the side. If this is really a little bit too much of a stretch, stay up tall, take quite a lot of weight into your hands. And we're going to tuck toes under again. So tuck the left toes under, straighten that back leg. And then we're bringing the right leg back to join the left leg. So we are in plank. Hold your plank. We're going to step the left leg forward, but we're going to take it out to the side. So don't take it in between your hands. Step the left leg forward to the outside edge of your left hand. Back leg is still straight for now. Just get a sense of being here, how you're feeling in the hips, and then drop the right knee down, flatten the foot. And if you have the space to do it, bringing your forearms down to the mat, bringing your torso closer to the mat, and having your left leg out to the side. If that feels a stretch too far, stay high. Coming back to having your hands stretched out. And then we are going to take the left hand onto the outside of the left leg, walk that left foot in, coming back into a regular lunge, straightening that back leg, lifting the knee off. And then stepping that left leg back to join the right foot and come into downward facing dog. So Ardha Mukha again. How's everyone feeling in their hips? Quite an intense stretch there. Allow your hips to rest and relax, because we're going to give them a good stretch in the opposite direction now. So looking forward to your hands, bringing yourself into your plank, nice and strong. Think about having a coat hanger in the back of your top and how straight you need to have the top of your back to have that coat hanger in there. Not sure it's a very good analogy, but anyway, we'll just go with that one. Taking your knees down to the mat now, releasing your feet out behind you. Let's come into Balasana, because I did say this would be not quite so strenuous today. So forehead down to the mat, release your arms. Let's give the arms a rest. Have your hands facing upwards, palms upwards, backs of the hands to the floor, either side of your feet. Soften through the back of your neck. Taking slow, steady breaths. Feel that connection between your torso and your thighs. Noticing how easy or hard it is to breathe in this position of compression. And then lifting your head, looking forward, taking your hands down to the mat in front of you and sliding them forward. Slide them all the way, keep going, bring your forearms to the mat. So bottom is up in the air and bring your chest down towards the mat. So we're in our puppy dog here. So extending your arms out, chin to the mat, chest to the mat. Your knees and your feet, or the tops of your feet are on the mat, and your bottom is up in the air. This is a brilliant chest opener. And from here, we're going to be sliding forward. So bringing yourself forward. So take your weight into your forearms. Slide yourself forward. Extend your feet backwards. Bringing yourself down to the mat. You should hopefully be in a Sphinx position here. If not, bring yourself into Sphinx. Your forearms are on the mat, hands flat to the floor, and your elbows are in line with your chest. Feet extending out. You might need to lift up and lengthen the legs. Give yourself some space. And then bring your chest forward. So we're bringing the chest forward, scooping the elbows backwards, keeping that glued to the floor, forearm position. Open your shoulders out to the sides. Send your chin forwards. Here we are in our Sphinx. This can be really, really strong in the mid back because it's a part of the back that we don't tend to bend quite often, or tend to bend often. So it can be quite a confronting position, even though we don't look like we're doing very much. You're dragging your arms backwards, you're pulling your chest forwards, and you're getting that deep bend in the back. And then release. If you've been doing it right, it feels like a really good release. Stack your forearms. Let's come into Makara and rest. So rest your forehead on that double forearm pillow that you've made. Maybe make a note of which arm is on top. And relax your feet. So let your ankles drop to either in or out, wherever they want to go. Completely relaxing through the hips and the pelvis. Softening through your mid-back. If you have any discomfort or any areas of tension here, try to let them go and try to breathe your breath into that space. And then coming back, lift your head and take your hands either side of your chest. We're coming into Bhujangasana or Cobra. So hands flat to the floor, fingers are slightly spread, and take your elbows behind you. So as you take your elbows behind you, tucking everything in nice and neatly in the upper body, starting to lift your head off the floor, your chest off the floor, peeling away, setting up that strength all the way from your feet. So pushing the tops of your feet into the floor, squeezing through your legs, squeezing your glutes, squeezing all the muscles in your back to give yourself as much lift as possible without using your arms. And remember to breathe. In fact, as you breathe in, sometimes you can get that extra bit of lift. And release. Slowly coming back down. Let go all those muscles. Opposite arm on top. And breathe. Relax your legs. And have to do some serious forward bends to counteract these lovely back bends in a moment. But we've got one more round of Bhujangasana to go. So bringing your hands back either side of your chest, elbows back, tops of the feet engaged, pushing into the floor, gaze is forward. So this time, that whole contraction of muscle along the back of your body, give it your focus. Notice where you're working. Notice where you haven't switched the muscles on to work. Maybe your glutes, maybe your calves. Lifting all the time. Remembering to breathe all the time. And then when you get to the point where that's it, there's no more lift happening just through the muscles, bring your arms in and push. Engage your upper arms. Lengthening. Straightening. Keep a bend in your arms if you need to. And remember to send your chest forwards. So we want to open up the front, not just be contracting the back. Engage your glutes here. Pushing the tops of your feet into the floor. consciously breathing, inhaling through your nostrils, exhaling through your mouth, and then slowly lowering. We're going to come down really slowly this time. If you haven't already come back down, use your arms. Wake up those muscles in the backs of your arms. Very slow return to the floor. And we're coming from here into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, bring yourself up, stepping forwards. And we've got this lovely inversion after all that work, all those muscles contracting in the back of the body. We're now allowing them to lengthen and ease and soften, and at the same time enjoying blood flow to the head and neck and shoulders. And remember to breathe. Maybe close your eyes here. Push the floor away with your hands. Keep that steady breath going in and out. And then walking your hands and your your feetsies towards each other, or your footsies, sounds a little better. So hands and feet close together, coming into Uttanasana, easy forward bend, which never feels all that easy in the hamstrings. But we're going to call it easy forward bend anyway, just for fun. And then slowly uncurling. So think about pushing the soles of your feet into the floor. Nice and strong, strong, strong feet. Release your hands. Slowly uncurling. Allow your arms and your head to just be heavy and hang, coming all the way up. Ooh. Bring yourself to standing. We're going to take the right leg in the chest, nice little bit of a squeeze. That's it, a little bit of balance, a little bit of squeeze. Taking that right leg out to the side, still holding on. Maybe extending out the left arm if you need it for balance. And then bringing that leg back in to center, extending that right leg out. And we're holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow, that was tricky. I hope you had an easier time of it than I did. Bring the left knee into your chest, standing strong and tall on your right leg. Big squeeze in. Taking that left leg out to the side now, maybe extending the right arm out for balance. And then bringing that leg in. Let's see if this side is easier. Extending your left leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Coming back down, taking the legs wide. Prasarita Padottanasana, so just gently folding forward, lifting your kneecaps, a little bit of a bend in the knees. Come to halfway, and then going all the way down. Last inversion today. Sending your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Allowing that lovely sensation of warmth and flow and power to move through your face and the scalp, your neck and throat, the tops of your shoulders. Remembering to breathe nice and slow and steady and deep. And then uncurling, coming up to standing. Walking the feet closer together. Coming back into a squat. So coming into that squat again as we start to make our way down towards the mat. Find your balance, find your steadiness in your squat. And then we're coming down to the mat, back into Baddha Konasana. See if you have a little more movement here, if you have a little bit more flexibility in your hips, perhaps. We've done quite a bit with hips today. Knees out to the sides, heels in towards your body. And breathe. We're going to come down to lying on the mat. So bring yourself back down to the ground, however works for you. Maybe you want to roll back. Bring yourself into happy baby. So hold your right hand on your right foot, left hand on your left foot. And then let's have a little bit of a play. Close your eyes, think about how your spine and your back feel on the mat, whether you need to stretch out a little, whether you need some more length there. And then a little bit of a play as you move through, noticing how your ankles feel, how your knees feel, and of course, how the hips feel. At the same time, you're challenging your arms with your legs. So using your legs to pull your arms, stretching out the arm, giving the shoulder socket a little bit of a stretch and some movement. Just noticing what you are doing, noticing what feels good. Starting to just work into the feeling. Closing your eyes, not noticing what's going on around you. Really moving into feeling your body, feeling that you are in your body. And then wrapping your arms around your knees when you're ready. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Soften through your shoulders and your spine, lengthen through your neck. Lift your head up and lay it back down again. Take your arms out to the sides. We're coming into our lovely spinal twist. I was going to say something else then. And do that how you want. Sometimes it's quite nice to cross your legs. Sometimes it's quite nice to have your feet actually flat to the floor and then go down over to one side from there. I'm going to go to the right first, go whichever side works for you. One thing to watch out for, of course, is that left shoulder. If your feet are over to the right, making sure that it stays on the mat. And slide, but it doesn't lift. And remember as well to bring your neck into this twist. Do what works for you. I've done quite a nice amount of twisting in the spine today. Forward and backwards movement. Hopefully getting everything moving and flowing and open. And then bringing your head back to center first. Then deal with the legs. And then exactly the same on the other side. So whatever you did, do it again. Just on the other side. Completely softening and relaxing everything. Noticing what feels good, noticing where you feel you need more stretch, noticing where you feel you've stretched enough. Then head back to center, knees back to center, and give yourself a hug. A nice gentle hug, not like those crazy strong ones we started with, but this one is a soft, gentle, kind hug to yourself, bringing your knees into your chest. Maybe a rock from side to side, maybe you're very still, tapping into what works for you. And then from here, bring yourself into your Shavasana. So taking your legs out, away from each other, arms away from your body. Find something warm if you need it. If it's cold where you are, close your eyes. Find that relaxation and rest and calm and enjoyment of the body being more open, more flexible, more stretched. So here, come into really enjoying your Shavasana. Notice the air as it comes into your body through your nostrils. As you breathe out, choose whether you wish to breathe out through your mouth or through your nostrils. But make each breath long, slow, consistent, deep, full. And with every exhale, finding somewhere else to let go of tension, to let go of any holding on, to make space, to completely empty out, so that you have space to fill with the next new fresh breath. Keeping your breath steady and even. So the beginning of the breath is the same intensity as the end of the breath and the middle. The steady flow. You notice as well the quality of that air as it comes into your nostrils and as it leaves the body. The difference in temperature. Maybe you can detect the difference in moisture. Maybe it has a different feel to the breath. But with every breath that you breathe in, consciously breathe in light, warmth, peace, calm, a softening, acceptance, and contentment of what is. A deep gratitude for all you are, for who you are, for where you are in your life's journey. Taking this moment to deeply nourish yourself, mind, body, and spirit. To consciously decide to fill up with light and warmth. To consciously decide what are the bags and the baggage and the things that you're carrying that can be put down. for a while, forever. It doesn't matter. Putting them aside for now. Having faith in the universe to give you what you need to thrive, to be your most wonderful expression of you. There's only one you, and you're doing it very well. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feeling a sense of calm and peace in every cell of your being. And with your next breath, keeping your eyes closed, just gently coming to rest on your right side. Continuing to breathe easily, slowly and deeply bringing yourself up to sitting with your eyes still closed or gently lowered lids. Bringing your hands to heart center and pressing your right hand into your left and your left hand into your right. Feeling that strength across the tops of your shoulders, across your back, into your arms, across your rib cage. And then gently letting go of that strength and tension and bringing that gentleness and peace and calm into your Namaste Mudra, your Anjali Mudra, but still keeping that connection between your right side and your left. Taking a deep in. As you exhale, gently lowering your head down towards your hands, inhaling. As you exhale, gently opening your eyes. As you inhale, this time gently lifting your head, coming back to center. Thank you very much for joining me on the mat and for joining you on the mat. Mind, body and spirit all in one place, and hopefully you will keep it there all day.